What's up, Process? How you been, man? It it really kind of is, John. How's it going, Jack? Where are you at now, Process? You're moving around a lot, so oh. Nope, we're right where I needed to be. Just wish I was smart enough to use Instagram half the time on the computer instead of on my phone. There we go. Mm. Still in Idaho, just high up in the mountains. Well, Donna, I was on the bike all day. Well, John, I use Instagram more on my phone than I do on my computer. I tried to get lost today. I found myself. Actually, I never found myself, but I found my way back home. Oh, I'm a little bit red. Maybe not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But I did wear sunscreen today.
You too, huh? I didn't
I
wear
did about
sunscreen today.
300 miles today.
I only did 45, 50 miles. Yeah. I do not like this camera placement.
I am less than 10 miles shy of 3,000 on the new scoot now.
Oh my goodness. I am just over 1,400. How's that? Is that okay?
That works.
Oh, dude, I got this desktop like 2 months ago, and it doesn't have a webcam built in. So it's like, and the monitor's taller, and it's trying to find a way to mount the damn GoPro. Pain in my ass. What's up, Jack? The
Just put
process.
underneath looking up at your nose. I mean,
hi everybody, I'm John from Red Reality. Yeah, that's what you need to see. I don't think so. Now I was up at the deal.
Got my damn GoPro figured out so I could use it instead of this.
Oh yeah, it's easy. You install
no,
the GoPro.
I had it working, and then it just even whenever it says it's working, it ain't. So
that sounds weird.
yeah.
How's my audio? Is it loud enough?
Yeah, perfect on my end at least.
Oh, because I can drag it up a little bit. How's that? Is that better?
Sounds the same, honestly.
Okay, good. I I don't know anything about this stuff. Now, dude, I tell you what, it was windier than shit today.
Yeah, Donna, I will be at Hog Rock. It was perfect here. A little chilly.
Chili I can take. It was 60, 62, 65, but 15 to 20 mile an hour winds. And I was on the road for like an hour and it took a lot out of me. But I managed to get from my house to the dealer in 10 minutes less than usual. It's normally a 30-minute trip. And I was, what's up, Droop?
Droop. How goes it, brother?
A week 210 today. The most I've ridden is 130 in a day on the new bike.
I did 400 miles the day after I got the 1,000-mile service done.
Nice. What seat are you running?
Still the stock.
How is it after 2 hours?
It's not bad. Don't do what I did and sit on the passenger seat, though. That some bitch is like sitting on plywood.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I rode for like 2 hours and my ass started hurting. And I stopped after 3 and stretched and walked around for 10 minutes. And by 3.5 hours of riding in, I was like, God, this thing is horrible again. Like I need, I heard, I got a buddy of mine just got a Street Glide Ultra. And he said the seat on that is a lot more comfortable than the regular Street Glide and Road Glide seats.
That's the same way it was on the Rushmores, too. But the thing is, people still replace them, so you might be able to find a takeoff in a year or so.
Yeah, I might just order a new one once they, that Street Glide Ultra seat is not available in the P&A catalog yet.
Really?
Yep. I was looking on the forums the other day and nobody can find a part number for it. I mean, they get a part number off the bottom of it, but they can't search it and find it on Harley's website.
What's up, Dallas? How you been, man? Long time no see.
Dallas, what's up? Good times.
I'm actually looking at the Mustang, but I don't have the $1,200 it's going to take to buy a seat.
Oh, they're so expensive.
Right?
Yeah. It's not like you didn't drop 30 grand on a bike. Now you need to buy a seat too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you don't watch my videos, Busted, but you're going to like at least 2 or 3 of the upcoming ones because I do things to the bike instead of just riding it around talking about whatever.
Yeah, I watch your videos, at least in the background, but I watch them.
Sure. We'll go with that.
I hit play on them. How about that?
If I had a nickel for everybody that said they watch my videos, but I never see the engagement, I could retire doing this. Oh, yeah. I was at the dealer today and the tech was like, yeah, I've been watching your videos. I'm like, no, you haven't. You spend all your time wrenching on my bike. I had some parts go loose the other day.
Oh, that's not so nice.
Yeah, I took the tour pack off for a quick ride and I looked down and somewhere between 3 weeks ago when I washed it and last weekend, the 3 of the 4 bolts on the docking hardware had come loose. Not the ones that mount it to the bike, but the ones that hold the cam pieces in place that the tour pack goes into.
Nice.
Yeah, 3 out of the 4 were loose. And I was like, these weren't loose a week ago because I had hands on this bike, like every inch of it. And I'm kind of detail oriented like that. I would have noticed it. So I don't know what the hell happened. But I took them all out one by one and I added fresh blue Loctite and I snugged them down real good.
Good deal.
All right, I'll keep an eye on it.
But I lost one bolt.
You had a screw loose
at one point.
You had a screw loose.
And I had see what the hell I had to end up having to make the the little stud that the spool slides on too, for some reason. I can't remember why.
Wow. I wonder if a tour pack could actually fall off if some of those bolts came loose. Because like
It would have to all come loose pretty well.
Because like
The back two would have to come out completely, and then the stud, the stud basically that would have to come off too.
yeah, because there's the 4 screws that go in the Torx bolts, right? And if those all 4 came out, you still have lateral, as long as the tour pack's still connected to the pieces front and back, like it still has all that lateral protection because they're locked into place by the mount from the tour pack.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something else to keep an eye on. I don't like this.
Mine was a cheap 4-point docking hardware off Amazon.
Oh, mine's the Harley one.
Mine's the Advanblack one now.
Well, either way, I
2 of them, and I gave one to a buddy.
Oh, yeah. Either way, I've got to figure out how to tighten and loosen the cam pieces in there because on the Harley one, the black bushings that the tour pack locks onto, they can be rotated. So,
same on the Advanblack.
Oh, they do that now? Because most of the aftermarkets didn't do that for the longest time.
Advanblack's been doing it for a while.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, the cam pieces, they were fun. I tried to put it on there once. I was like, nope, that's too tight. We're going to need a rubber mallet if we try to get this any tighter on there. So then I rotated them, put them back on, and then I took each bolt out one by one and put Loctite on it and put it back in with the tour pack sitting on the bike, and it's been on there fine. I was scooting on that thing today. Whee! I was like, no speed cameras, let's go. Well, so here's the thing, right? So I had the 1K service done, and I wasn't exactly happy with where the clutch engagement was, as you'll see in, I think, Monday's video. And I was talking to the tech at the dealer the other day, and he's like, yeah, I remember what you said. And I was talking to somebody else, and they said, yeah, put it at 3/4 of a turn out, and it'll be closer to the grip. And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, bring it by Friday or Saturday, and we'll do that. So I took it up there. I called up this morning, and the guy didn't even say, hi, John. He just recognized my number, and he goes, John, bring it in. So I hopped on the bike and just stole right up there to the dealer. Took it out back, recorded some B-roll of him adjusting my clutch. So, I'm not going to do it myself. It's beneath me as a rub,
I need to do mine. It was better after the 1,000-mile, but now I think it needs adjusted again. Then again, I'm pretty hard on my bike, so.
Have you been popping that spring at the midpoint on the cable?
Oh, to do the adjustment, I haven't adjusted mine yet on this bike. But yes, I did on the one.
Who did your 1,000-mile service? Did you do it yourself?
No, I got I got 6 services over 3 years. Unlimited miles through my dealer.
So if they did the 1,000-mile service, they adjust it behind the derby cover, and they make sure that the midpoint cable adjustment is done proper, right? In between those 5,000-mile services, you can just lift the collar on the midpoint and pop the button, and it'll take up all the slack.
Okay.
People bitch about it, but I think it's kind of a slick setup. I will be complaining about it for the next 5 videos. But I will show you how to do it in at least 1 video, if not 2. Yeah.
Donna, I get to ride with a Mustang on my bike, and I liked it. It felt like it set me up about another inch and back about an inch, half inch, which made me feel a little bit more stretched out.
I want the opposite of that. I want to be down an inch and further forward an inch.
I'm sure you can get it done.
I know. There's a guy that's really highly recommended, and I think his shop is like 3 miles from my house or something. Might be further than that, but I gotta call that guy up and be like, dude, let's use a takeoff seat for $100, and then you fadoodle it, do all the stuff, and then call me, and we'll be good. I wouldn't mind spending $100 on a takeoff just to have him fix it.
Yeah. Somebody on Facebook on the 24 Road Glides page was selling a CVOST seat. I'm like, I want it. He goes, it's already sold. God damn it.
Oh man. How much did he ask for it?
He didn't even have a price. I was asking him how much. He goes, it's already gone.
Oh
Fuck.
shit.
It's posted 30 minutes ago.
Is it that much better?
I don't know. But I just wanted that solo seat.
Oh. I don't know. I've got that fancy seat bolt. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Revolver style. I'm gonna get pulled over trying to cross a border somewhere into another county.
That was HH that sent you that, right?
It was. And you know what? I love that thing. Like every time I walk by the bike, I look at it and I've got this little bit of brass and the black that breaks up the blue, you know? I'm like, that was really nice of him. And it looks sharp sitting there. I dig it,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, just look at that.
I don't know why I hadn't seen that comment till just now.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, fucking Dallas. God damn.
Yeah. He's playing his white privilege card. Are we allowed to say that anymore?
You know who owns the copyright to the white privilege card, right?
Dave Chappelle.
No, but it's a black man.
Oh. Okay.
He actually sells a white privilege card.
That's hilarious.
And he drives a big jacked up F250, F350, and in the grill it says white privilege on it.
That's awesome. Oh man, I love it.
He also sells the race card too, though.
Yeah, I can't get either one of those. I'm still working for a living.
Same.
My sugar mama is not increasing my allowance at all.
I don't have a sugar mama.
Oh, I do, but she's diabetic apparently. No, dude, my poor wife, she's had to be back in the office full time lately. And it's like, all right, while I'm gone, I need you to do this and this and this. And I go, honey, I have a day job. Fuck off. But
remember, I was gone every day while you were sitting at home.
Wow. This is true. For the longest time, I was going in every day and she was at home. But then we were home together for like 3 years. Dude, the first like 6 months of COVID, we're both working like 20 feet apart on the same level. And she finally one night she snapped and she's like, would you just leave me alone during the day? I have work to do. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't have to pick up the phone to call you. I can just holler over, hey. And she's like, don't do that. And then the next 6 months, I snapped. And I was like, would you leave me alone? I've got work to do. You can't just come over here and bother me. It took us a full year to like realize an equilibrium where we didn't bother each other, like schedule a meeting for like 4:00 in the afternoon, right before the kids get home. Oh yeah, good times.
Yeah, sounds like a blast.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Now she's in the office and I'm only in there once in a while, so I don't know. I haven't been able to record as much. Go figure.
The wife she was working from home during COVID, and I worked third shift, so we were home together.
Oh, but you're supposed to be sleeping.
Exactly.
Yeah. That did not go well, did it?
It wasn't too bad because there is a solid 15 feet between our bedroom door and the door to her office, and then she was on the other side of that door, so which used to be an exterior wall, so there's a little bit of insulation there.
Crazy shit. Crazy times we live in.
But she would always walk into the bedroom or through the bedroom to go to the bathroom.
Oh, that drives me nuts. The window over there, where is it? Right there. That's to a bathroom. So when that window is open, I can hear when somebody comes in and out. No. Well, since my wife's working in the office now, the door over that way is open, and I have a shower curtain to keep the smoke from going back in the house. And I put a dog bed out here because my dog will just come in and lay on the bed all day. And sometimes her dog comes in and is like, "Hey, will you let me outside?" And I'll look up because I can see the landing from the back of the house. And I'm like, "Dude, the fucking door's open. Just go around." You dick. So I open it. I let him out, and he runs around in peace, and then he goes right back through the door he wouldn't come out of. You stupid dog. Dude, we had that dog oh my God, we took the dogs with us tonight, and we went to my mom's house because she's got my kids overnight. We brought the dogs, right? And my wife's dog, who is 11, he's 11 now. Anyway, he was all the way across the cul-de-sac at the neighbor's mailbox peeing on it. And then I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden he bolts like a puppy all the way across the cul-de-sac, down my mom's driveway, down her side yard, into the neighbor's backyard, and then makes a big loop around the entire house and comes back up. He had a serious case of the zoomies. It was hilarious.
How old is he?
Huh?
How old is he?
Like 11.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's like an 11-year-old Cocker Spaniel, but he's a big one. He's like 35 pounds. And he's hilarious. Then he sits on my mom's foot while she's standing there on the driveway. And all of a sudden, he's off like a rocket again. And he's doing laps, but her yard was just mowed by the landscapers. So it's all slippery. And he about busts his ass. He slides like an F1 car going around a corner. And he's like, "Burr, burr, burr, burr." And you see him digging his shoulder in because he's like getting ready to flip over. I was like, "Dude, you're a little fast there. Slow your roll, bro." Oh, yeah. Freaking hilarious. So nobody's watching this. You like my shirt?
I can't. It's too small.
That's what she said.
Right?
It's Ram on it.
Oh.
I shouldn't wear this shirt anymore. I don't have a Ram anymore.
What the fuck?
Oh, dude, I decided.
We got down to one viewer, didn't we?
What's that?
So we're down to one viewer.
It's me.
Yeah.
I'm watching it over there. Yeah, my Ram turned into a hot tub. From day one, they designed the damn air conditioning to not work right. On a $70,000 truck, the fix for many owners on the forum was to put a one-way valve in the heater core line going into the heater core, and they'd close it off in April and open it in October. Because something in the air box with the blend door and all that shit would mix a little bit of hot air in with the cold, and you got 55-degree air temps coming out of the vents. If you put a temperature gauge in the air vent of your car or truck, I guarantee you it comes out below 40 degrees, if not below 36 degrees. But the Ram...
Apparently not mine because I have a Ram.
What year?
16.
That's the previous generation. That one should be okay. It started with the DT 5th gens in 2019. And it hits 85. Like, if it's 70 degrees out, you're fine. And you're like, "Oh, this is nice and cool. I love it." It hits 80, 85. You're like, "Fuck, why is it never turning down?" Like, this thing on a family road trip would always run at half speed or higher. It would never, like, slow down.
Huh.
And I always use the cooled seats from, like, April to October because I would sweat in the truck more than I would sweat on the bike when it's 90 degrees out. Fucking ridiculous, right? So, for that reason, it's like a sauna, right? But then a year or two ago, I'm driving along, and I'm like, "Why do I hear sloshing?" And I'm like, all the windows are closed. I shouldn't hear sloshing, even if it's at the base of the cowl behind the hood, right?
Yeah.
It was in the dash.
Nice.
So I pulled my glove box and I pulled my cabin air filter out. The cabin air filter soaked. So I took a look around and there was like nothing going on. There's no stops on any drains or anything. It was like, all right, let me put a thing of damper it in there, pull up all the trim, put blocks of plastic or whatever underneath all the carpets so they dry out. And a couple weeks later, it's perfectly dry, no problem. Fast forward to 2 weeks ago, right after the 6-year warranty expired, I get in it to drive to take my kids somewhere, and the sloshing is back worse than before. And I'm like, all right, let me go home. Let me get the air gun out, blow out the AC drain. Let me open the sunroof, stand on the driver and passenger seats, and fish string trimmer line down the drains. Yep, they come out the bottom clean. Okay. Let me do a little research online. Oh, a missing weld seam on the driver's footwell that you have to remove the front fender to get at. Okay, well, we're not fixing that one. Let me check this thing. Oh, I can't get the wiper arms off to get the cowl off to get to this sealed up drain that water somehow gets into anyway. Honey, these are the 5 things I did. She looked at me and goes, buy a new truck. I was like, I don't really want to deal with mold and I don't want to deal with electrical issues because I went up to the Harley dealer to pick up parts for an upcoming video. And I made a left and I had the cabin air filter out again. And a cup and a half of water came pouring out of the air box.
Oh.
I got to the dealer and I put my hand in the air box and down. The blower motor was fully submerged and my fingers got wet to the second knuckle. I was like, yep, think I'm done. That was Friday. And Tuesday I bought a new truck.
So what'd you get?
I got a 2025 GMC Canyon Denali.
Yeah, little truck.
My wife calls it a baby truck.
I was going to do that, but I didn't want to insult you too bad.
She stole all the masculinity I had left. Not that there was much to begin with, because I do all the cooking and.
Well, you did get a road glide instead of a damn street glide, so that boosted you a little bit.
I grew a third ball, and she cut all 3 off by calling it a baby truck. Fucking women. Anyway, yeah, I got a Canyon Denali. I'm working on the reveal video. It's going to be a half hour of truck porn. But look, you might appreciate this. I walked in there. It took me an hour through pissing down rain to drive down there in the Ram. Meanwhile, I've got the AC set at 66 and the cooled seat on full blast, and I can't get cool enough. And it's 64 degrees out. I'm like, this freaking sucks. And it's getting humid in the truck, right? Because I dried it up as best I could, cleaned out all the drains best I could, whatever. I get there, I toss the keys to my truck to the salesman, said, give me the keys to the Denali. I'm on a time crunch. It's now 10:30. I get back from my test drive. I did 25 miles, tested all the features, paired my phone with it, called my wife, checked the call quality, tested all the self-driving shit on it, and then I get back at like 11, and by 2:30 I was on the road with a new truck.
Nice.
Yeah, I got back from the test drive, and the guy's like, so what's the payoff on your Ram? And I was like, 0. He's like, what payment are you looking for? 0. Where do we have to be on the trade-in? I said, $70,000. He goes, well, that's unreasonable. I was like, right. You want me to negotiate with myself? No, I told you I'm on a time crunch. Don't waste my time. Just give me your best number. We'll go from there. So he goes over to the sales manager, and they're like, we'll give you this, and here's the number. And I was like, you're $4,000 off. He goes, we can't be. I was like, try again. Clock's ticking. The guy's like, okay. He comes back like 20 minutes later. He's like, all right, we found you another $2,000 on trade-in. I was like, make it $2,500. He's like, and I was like, and then come down another $1,000 on your truck. And then we're at $3,500. He goes, yeah. Will you do that deal? I said, yeah, I will. If, and he goes, if what? He goes, I said, if you throw in a hat of my choosing from your parts department on the WIO. He goes, the WEO? I said, yeah. You know the document that says WEO? He's like, I don't normally have people talk about that. I go, exactly. Been buying new cars for 25 years. I ran through the list the other day. I've bought 23 vehicles in 25 years, and 17 of them have been new. So I'm not new to this.
I've bought one new truck, 4 new bikes. The first 2 don't really count. One was a Kawasaki 250. The other one was a Yamaha 600. For myself, my wife has had 2 new cars since we've been together. And
Yeah,
no
sounds about right. My wife has had 5 vehicles in her whole life, I think, 3 of which were new. And I've had 9 or 10 used and 13 new, I think was the count, something like that. So in under 6 hours, including 2 hours drive time, I bought a new truck. And I was mad too, because the guy's like, all right, we got to run. Hey, there you go. He's like, we got to run a credit report. I was like, no, you don't. Just tell me how big the check has to be. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, how much can I put on my credit card? Because I want the points. And they're like, $5,000 on the credit card, and you write a check for the difference. I was like, great, let's go. Where's your finance person? Here's my checkbook. He goes, well, what about the title? It's like, here's the title. Here's the lien release. He goes, okay. Do you have the second key for your truck? Right here, boss. Oh, you came prepared. No shit. Where have you been the last 3 hours? Did I look like somebody whose time you want to waste? Let's go. So
yeah, whenever we traded off my Durango back in September for this truck, we were ready to trade it off. We had the title for the Durango. We didn't have the cash in hand. And we didn't have a check for that account. We'll come back Monday with the check. Okay, Werks. You know, go to the bank. Hey, their check print machine's down. So we showed up with $17,000 cash. They go, the fuck?
nice. I should have driven down. They wanted to do a credit check just to take a personal check. And they were like, I was like, why? And they're like, well, we can go to your bank and get a cashier's check. I was like, it's raining and I'm in the middle of the city. I don't have time to drive over there, get a check, wait, and come back. Like literally, if I'm not on the road by 2:30, I'm taking my Ram home, and I probably am not coming back. So you either do this now or never.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Howard? We were talking about you earlier.
I mean, Zach, I can make you not a moderator.
Yeah. So, yep, I'm excited now. Except there's no leg room in the back of this truck, so my kids are hating life.
Well, yeah, you bought a baby truck.
I know. But you know what? You know what a baby truck does? It goes down the road and it sips fuel instead of guzzling it like cheap wine.
I'm fine with guzzling no more than I drive a truck.
Oh, dude. I didn't drive the Ram that much, but getting 10 to 12 hurt. I think it averaged like 13 over its whole life.
I drive 3.2 miles to work or some shit like that.
Oh, no, I'm 30 each way. And it adds up when you run mid-grade.
What's up, Evil Rick?
Oh.
Evil Rick, he's really kind of a nice guy.
Where is Evil Rick? I don't see him in the side chat.
I don't know why. It says, hey, Busted, right there.
Oh, there he is. Evil Rick, hey, Busted. I had to scroll down.
Ah.
I swear I haven't been drinking.
I have.
I went to
both of us.
I went to the liquor store for the first time in 18 months last week. Yeah.
I went, well, actually, I don't know the last time I actually went. It's been a few months.
He's like, I went yesterday and the day before.
Well, no, I went to the bar, but I didn't buy anything packaged to bring home.
Oh. No, I'd spent $8 on booze in the last 2 years. It was like I bought one daiquiri at the beach. Yeah, okay. Howard's getting 15 to 16 with the Coyote V8. And my Ram got 12 in the city and a just scalding 16 or 17 on the highway. Not that I drove it really easy, but I'm kind of driving the Canyon the same way, and I'm already getting like 18 or 19.
See, I'm not easy on anything. There's a less than half mile between the road that I work on and the overpass that goes over the railroad tracks. The bike will hit 100. The truck will hit 85 to 90.
Nice.
And I do that every fucking day, unless it's wet, because the truck has no fucking traction.
Oh yeah, no, they don't. You said you had a 16 Ram. What tires are you running?
Honestly, I don't know. I bought it used and it had tires on it.
They're probably Goodyears then.
No, it's not got the original Goodyears on it. It's got 130,000 miles. Those tires are gone.
Oh, so my Ram came with the stock Goodyears, and after 3 years, I could tell in the wintertime that the traction just wasn't there. And like even brand new, that truck on just a slight incline. Where is it? There.
A slight incline.
On a slight incline in the rain, it would just fishtail all the way up a hill. And I was like, I'm nonplussed by this. And so I said, well, it's time for some all-terrain tires. So I took it to the dealer, and they had a sale on Wild Peak AT3s. So I said, yeah, put those on. Dude, I could do 75% throttle starts, and it still wouldn't break it loose.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, it gripped like a son of a bitch.
I'm pretty sure there's been work done to my truck.
Yeah.
I know it's got an exhaust. I know it has an intake. So I'm betting somebody's tuned it at least.
It's a stage 1 at least.
Exactly.
Time to do cam work and get it to stage 2, right?
It fucking moves. God damn, does this truck move?
What rear axle ratio does it have?
Honestly, I don't know.
Probably the 392s.
Probably.
Yeah, that's what I had in the Ram.
I had a 15 that was pretty well the same setup, but this 16 seems like it has more ass.
It probably does. I can tell you that my new truck doesn't have that level of ass.
No, it's a baby truck, remember?
It has a 4-banger in it. They put a turbo 4 in it. It's 2.7 liters. It's a gigantic 4, and it puts out 310 horses and 430 torques. So it makes good use of an 8-speed automatic. You romp on it, and you can hear the turbo spool up.
For the longest time, mine didn't want to hit 8th gear.
Huh. I don't know.
It does now.
Ah, that's good. You broke it in. What's your bike getting for gas mileage?
Low 40s.
Really? I haven't even hit 40 yet on a tank on mine.
That's just according to the digital display. I haven't actually sat down and figured it up.
Oh, yeah. My digital display says 43, 45, 47. But when you do the math, it's like 36, 38, 39, somewhere in there.
This photo can only be displayed once.
Oh, yeah. I get that all the time. I don't know how people do that. Howard, yeah, your F-150 is similar to the Ram setup I had. Yeah, probably the same tires. They're great tires. The hell? Oh, racetrack.
Yep.
Dirt track?
Yep.
Nice.
Modifieds, it looks like. Oh. Oh, there we go. Snap, crackle, pop.
Oh, dude, tell me about it. I forgot how good prednisone makes my joints feel when I was on it a month and a half ago for the gout, and then I stopped taking the prednisone, and all my joints started hurting again. I was like, "Fuck!" I counted up my bad joints a few weeks ago because somebody asked. 17.
17 bad joints.
Yeah, and I'm just counting my back as one.
My answer would be yes.
Yeah, right. What hurts? Yes. Where does it hurt? Yes. How much does it hurt? A lot of it.
All of it.
All the pain.
Oh, yeah, there's something going on with about every joint in my body.
It's good times, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, 13 years in the Army, do that shit to you?
That's 14 more years than I spent in the Army. I have poor genetics and a lot of unhealthy eating habits. As I
was
read,
a lot skinnier back when I enlisted, so.
Oh no, I've always been overweight and underpaid and
I
overfed.
think I was like 136 pounds when I enlisted.
Jesus Christ, I weighed
23 years
136
ago.
pounds. I weighed that in the 8th grade.
23 years ago.
Wow. Dude, I was a $175 when I graduated high school, and I had no neck. Because I was on track and field, and I did discus and shot put. And then all that muscle went from here to here. It drooped, if you will.
Yeah, it doesn't count. He's not here anymore.
Damn it. Hey, did you ever get used to using the Pocket 3?
The 2.
Pocket 2? I thought you had a Pocket 3.
No.
Oh.
No, I've got a Pocket 2. I like it.
Dude.
Different.
I bought mine in January, the Pocket 3. I have used it more. I have recorded more video on that.
I've noticed.
Than I have recorded on the Canon that I bought in September.
I've noticed.
Yeah, I use it a lot. Looks good, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's stupid easy. I slap it on a little selfie stick and I walk around carrying it. I set it down on the tripod part, get all the fancy views. I got my wireless mic magnetized to my shirt, and I get the good audio. Just makes life easy.
See, I don't even have the I don't even put mine on a selfie stick.
Oh, really?
But, yeah. The only thing I have is a little handler on it, the 4-inch or 2-inch extension on it.
Oh, yeah. So I gotta show you then. It's charged up. Good. So I put the Falcam F38 quick release plate on the extension. So I either have the camera just handheld like this. Oh, it came on. Why are you on? Turn off.
Because you barely graze the fucking power button. You got to watch out for that.
Yeah. And then I've got the extension handle with the Falcam on it. And it's just like, Bob's your uncle. This fits right on the selfie stick, slots in, because all my tripods have the same base plate on them.
Mm-hmm.
So I just push a button, slot it in, and I'm off to the races, get the tripod and everything. I'm like, content creation is easy now. I can make more videos. That's what I need.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need.
Yeah, it's been a good spring for recording. I have like 15 videos in the hopper. What's up, DDK? Hashtag stop elder abuse.
What's up, you old bastard?
He's not an old bastard. His parents were married when he was conceived.
I mean, back then, back in the the 20s, yeah, it was possibility, strong possibility,
strong possibility. And even if they weren't, his mom would take good care of him. So whatever. We're not going to besmirch the good name of DDK. Buy that man an ice cream. It's Ensure flavored.
God damn it, where the fuck did it go?
Two assholes on the screen thing. Yeah, it's two assholes, one stream.
You'll get over it, DDK. I promise. If not, go fuck yourself.
Well, the Alzheimer's will take care of it. He won't remember it in the morning.
Right?
We love you, DDK. What does DDK stand for anyway?
Dan.
Dan. It's not Dallas's dad, Keith. Wait, you're running a live stream and watching YouTube on the side? It's fucked up.
No, it's not a YouTube video. It's a video that I recorded. Apparently, I didn't record near as long as I thought I did.
You missed the money shot.
Let's see if I can refigure this shit out.
So you're getting close to the 1K, busted.
I'm getting close, but not close enough on the view time.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the watch hours in a while.
Remember, they roll off after 364 days.
Oh, I understand.
Okay. Some people don't. They wonder why their watch hours on two different pages are different. But as your resident YouTube expert, I'm here to dispel the myths. By the way, Creator Reality just a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, celebrated its 1-year anniversary.
Awesome.
Monetized and 2,500 subscribers in 1 year. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sit and spin, buddy. Oh, look at this. God, that is an ugly beard.
Right? This is where I realized it wasn't recording before when I thought it was.
Oh, yeah?
But now it's recording.
Full face helmet, but
DJI rolling down the road, so.
Full face helmet, but no gloves, huh?
Hey, leave my ass alone, okay?
Okay.
I don't do well with being too restricted.
Oh, yeah. That's why I wear the Harley leather gloves. They don't have those god-awful knuckles. You know how hard it is to hold a cigar wearing a pair of gloves with the hard knuckles on them?
I usually don't wear a helmet, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're already restricted then. You're like, I can't see anything.
Literally, I have no peripheral vision, I feel like, having a helmet on.
That's why I wear a half lid, man. I get plenty of vision. I got a place to hang a camera. I tried a chin mount once, but I had to grow my beard back. That's a joke. Oh, he's distracted. You don't like to wear gloves? No glove, no love, DDK. Just going to say that. Like, probably doesn't come to play too much in the old folks' home. You know the number one...
I was going to say, they're like the number one place for an STD is in an old folks' home.
That's exactly where I was going. The number one demographic of STD people is retired living communities. Fucking
all DDK's fault.
Yeah, he's spreading the love and the itch. Poor bastard. So you got the black trim on your Road Glide, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Dude, I'm hating the chrome at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun hits the tank dash cover and reflects right back into my eyeballs. Fucking blinded by the
imagine
light.
how all those people, which I love the new Gray Ghost. Can you imagine how all those people are going to feel?
Thankfully, they'll all sit in museums and garages and they'll never be ridden.
Nah, there'll be some people out there that rides them.
You know, the thing that horny old bastards, there you go. The thing that got me with the Gray Ghost was I was watching Pro Monkey's video on it, and he mentioned that it was PVD. And Harley called it one thing, but Ford uses a similar or the same process, and they call it positive vapor deposition. And it's a powder coating type of process. But if you go back to the 2015 and 16 F-150s, and a little bit before, they had the PVD chrome-like wheels. And if you looked at them funny, they peeled. I took my truck in for tires, something that every dealership does hundreds of times a day. And they try to give me my truck back. And I said, I'm not taking this. And they're like, why? I said, 3 of my 4 wheels, the entire rim of the wheel is chipped off. And it wasn't like that when I brought it. Here's pictures on my phone showing that all the wheels look perfect as I swipe through them. Look, see? And they were like, so what do you want us to do? And I was like, put new fucking wheels on it because you damaged mine. They ended up holding the truck for 3 weeks while they fought back and forth with Ford, and they replaced 3 of the 4 wheels. And then they ghosted me on ordering the diff rebuild parts because my front diff needed rebuilt for the 4th or 5th time.
But yet, you went to Chevy this time.
Yeah. So why do you think I didn't go back to Ford? The front diff on the 2015 F-150, not only did it have a noise, but it was like a bunch of people had the same noise, and it started from like day 2, and it just made this noise. And it was something about the lash and the gears, but the fix was always rebuilding it, not just replacing the whole unit, because there was like something was misaligned with one of the openings or something. Yeah. And so they could never truly fix it. It was freaking stupid. And I ended up trading that truck in because I was tired of driving a $60,000 truck down the road that made little clacks and rattles and stuff with 25, 30,000 miles on it. I was like, this thing's baby. It shouldn't make a noise.
I had an 09 Ram before I traded it in on the 15, and it got to have a growl in the rear end. It was bad. So I made an appointment to take it in and got it there. They go, well, here's the keys to your loaner. Hopefully I won't need them. I snagged them off the counter. Whoa. Hold up. What do you mean, hopefully you won't need them? I'm going to go trade that sumbitch in by sitting on the lift.
Yeah.
They go, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, you're not going to give me any less for it. It's going to be a warranty issue. What makes you think it's going to be a warranty? Y'all did a rear end recall 6 months ago?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've done that. When I bought, what did I buy? I bought an 09 Lincoln MKS. And I had an 08 Honda Civic, and I had an 04 Mustang GT convertible. That in the 2.5 years I owned it, my Toyota Care warranty, because I bought it used at a Toyota dealer, paid out $7,000 in repairs. AC, driver seat track, this thing, that thing. The throwout bearing went bad. So I bought a center force stage 2 clutch and put in it. And I didn't have to pay anything except for the clutch itself. Yeah. Toyota paid for all the labor to get to the throwout bearing. So I was like, great. And then like 3 days later, I'm driving down this street that's got this tree line, right? And I hear this little rattle. And I was like, I took it back to my mechanic and went, sounds like the same thing. And he got out the stethoscope, with the big long rod deal. And he's got it. It's like, yep, 1, 2, 3's okay. 4. He goes, 3 out of your 4 bearings in your transmission have gone. I was like, sounds great. He's like, here's the number for the transmission shop. Take it up there. And I took it up there, and they called me about 3 hours later. They're like, so we've got your car apart. It's going to take us about 6 days to put it back together, and your warranty's covering 100% of it. Awesome. Drove the Honda up to the Lincoln dealer and said, yeah, I'd like to trade this in, but there's also a car and a lift 28 miles away, and I want to trade that in too. And I showed them some pictures, and they gave me a decent trade-in. I was like, nice. So when it was done, I went to the transmission shop, picked up the car, and drove it to the Lincoln dealer and dropped it off. Said, I need a ride home. Here's your second car. A week later. It was freaking hilarious.
Nice.
If there's ever been like an oddball car deal, I've been a part of it. Trade in here, trade in there. That's the one I did. I was a buyer's broker for years. Everybody I knew that wanted to buy a new car, they, John, I want a car. Do you know what you want? And if the answer was no, I'd take them on a bunch of test drives. If the answer was yes, then I'd say, cool, give me a make, model, color, and options. And then I'd call them up about a week later and go, this address, 3 o'clock, meet me there, bring your checkbook, you're buying a car. And they'd show up, and I'd already worked them a deal and everything. Oh, yeah, freaking great, dude.
It's awesome.
Then they'd pay me. That was even better. Box of cigars, bottle of whiskey. One guy wrote me a fat check.
Yeah. I can give you a drink.
There you go. You could, but it's empty.
Yeah, I gotta fix that. But first, I gotta go empty myself. Be right back.
Okay, so I'm gonna
talk to though. Nobody's in the comments.
I know. There's 5 people watching, and I'm like 4 of them because I'm fat. How's everybody doing out there? Why don't you smash that like button like it owes you money? Yeah, I see we have 0 likes. Oh, wait, I liked it. Now there's 1 like. If he rewatches it ought to be funny. See, Howard's smart. A drain and fill. Yeah, Evil Rick, a drain and fill. But Howard's smart. Buy used and use them up. Daily drivers, a beat up 99 Tahoe. By the way, that 99 Tahoe is probably one of the best Chevy trucks ever built. Hold on to that thing forever. As long as the frame's good. I wonder, am I a moderator on this? Oh, I can't add things. Damn. I done that. I done did that button thing. Thank you very much. You see 6 likes. Okay. YouTube's kind of silly that way. Somebody will see 6, somebody else sees 1. They got to get their shit together. I don't even, I have no control over this. All I am is a talking head. I'm literally a hired gun, as it were. Can I say that word? I'm a hired pew pew. Yeah, I don't know. It is a late Saturday night. I should be out riding my motorbike, but let me see, is it still windy out there? I think it is. Yeah, it's still pretty windy here. Not looking forward to that. Howard, since he's gone, we were talking about that seat bolt you sent me earlier in the live stream. Dude, I love it. Every time I walk by the bike, I see it sitting there on the bike, and it's got the brass sticking up and the black. It's a really nice contrast. Thank you again for that, by the way. Oh, yeah. Anything. Time for rebuild kits. Just put new seals in it. You'll be fine. I had a 97 K1500 with like 175,000 hard miles on it before I even got it. It was a landscaping truck, and it plowed for 10 winters. And the pitman arm like fell off in my mechanic's hands when he went to replace it. It was so bad. But, oh, yeah, dude, that thing, my mechanic called me up, and he's like, I need you to walk the 3 blocks down to my shop because I don't understand how you've been driving this thing for a month. And I go down there and he's like, this wheel moves this far. This other wheel moves this far. And he goes, this is a pitman arm. And he used 2 fingers and he picked it up and he rotated it and it fell off in his hand. And he's like, how does this thing drive? And I went, nice and straight. That's it. Yes, Howard, it looks great on there. And as many times as I've had the seat off in the last few weeks, it's aces. Just boop, 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 and it's done. I love it. I mean, I still have the T27 bolts on the passenger hold down strap deal, but what are you going to do? At least the seat bolt just sits there and it looks nice. I love it.
I can't believe you still have the seat strap on. I removed that the day that I got home.
You don't like a strap on? You like a strap off? He turned as red as his shirt.
I was already as red as my shirt, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But no, I leave the brackets on because it's a good place to use my cargo net.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm traveling.
I thought about taking this strap, the passenger strap off, but lately my kids are starting to show more interest in maybe riding on the bike. So
okay.
Luckily, they're my children, so they have oversized heads, so they can just wear my wife's motorcycle helmet. I shit you not.
Your wife probably hated that part of them being born.
Oh, wow, they were both C-sections, dude.
Oh.
My eldest, my wife labored for 30 hours with my eldest. And at one point, I saw the top of the head, and I was like, oh, he's coming soon. He's coming soon. And then he was like, no, fuck this. I don't want to be out there. And after 30 hours, the doctor said, either we go in and get him or you die, and then we'll get him afterwards. And I was like, that sounds serious, honey. You might want to just have them cut you open. And so they almost killed her with that one. The operation almost killed her. So that was great. So the second one was automatic C-section because, yeah, doctor shit. But, these kids, they're huge heads, just fucking ginormous. My eldest, when he was learning how to walk, you know how you have kids, you have like a coffee table and they like to surf the coffee table. So you put a couple of pillows out where their bottom's going to hit. So they land on their diaper on the pillow and they don't get hurt because they're little babies. No, we put the pillow way back because it was going to be where his head hit, because that thing was falling faster than anything. That kid conked his head more than anything. Oh, it's ginormous. I mean, his head's huge. And he's almost as big as my wife now, almost as tall. And I'm like, you're not even 10 yet. Stop growing. He thinks he can fight me, though, but I have better techniques. He's like, I'm going to get you, Dad. And I'm like, how? I have both your hands tied up with my one hand. And he's like, damn it. And I'm like, don't curse, but you're right. You're screwed. Now sit down and shut up and do what I told you to do. Oh, yeah. Good times. Having kids is very interesting, but they're kind of coming around the corner, and maybe they'll hop on the bike with me soon, and that'll be awesome.
My oldest will ride with, well, he probably won't no more. He's 17, but my 10-year-old shows no interest.
That, my friend, is a shame.
Oh, so right now I'm the only passenger I have, because today I sat on the passenger seat and leaned against the tour pack and everything.
Why?
To stretch out a little bit.
Oh, do you not have highway pegs on that thing?
I do. Oh, I don't, but I kind of do. I have the Advanblack crash bars.
Oh, okay. I want to put highway pegs on mine. I saw that Monkey put some on, and I asked him about them. They're Harley brand ones, so
yeah.
I might see if I have a little credit left on my card and see if I can get a set of those. It needs highway pegs. I got to move my feet too much. I need a place to prop my foot up when I've got the gout. I put out a gout video a couple months ago, and somebody's like, what the fuck are you doing riding around with the gout? isn't that like really dangerous and painful? I was like, maybe the first couple of times I did it, but now I'm kind of used to it.
And they go, what the fuck?
Oh yeah. Well,
Something wrong with you.
the worst was when I went shopping. I had to buy the keyboard for my computer, and I had to gout real bad, so I decided to take the bike because I didn't want to park my truck in their parking lot because the spaces were all too small. So I took the bike, and I was making a right-handed U-turn into the spot, and oh my God, I just about dropped it. I went too slow, and I put my bad foot down, and I screamed into the camera. It was good times. You got to go way back in my catalog for that one.
See, the day after, pretty well, that they took the stitches out of my leg from the third surgery, I got on the bike and went to do a U-turn and almost dropped it and held it up with that leg.
Dude, it sucks. I got to figure out. Yeah, it's this knuckle. So it's my throttle knuckle, right? I was at my buddy's house for a July 4th party, and he bought a new grill because a tree fell down that took out his old grill. The top half of this tree came down and hit a bunch of shit. So his homeowner's insurance came out, and they topped the tree to where it wouldn't hit the house. So when a big storm came through, the rest of the tree came down, and the end of it took out their grill. Missed the house by 3 feet, but it took out their grill. So they bought a brand new grill, and it had an info placard in it, and it was zip tied on. So I went out to my truck, and I got my trusty steel knife, which is just sharp as shit, right? Just I went in there, and I was like, bink, 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 and I went to do the fourth zip tie, and I bounced it off the underside of the lid, and it came back, and it sliced the top of my knuckle off, right? And I was like, fuck, and I couldn't get it to stop bleeding. It was just so. My buddy's wife, she's a teacher, so she wrapped it up, and we got the bleeding slowed down. So I had a couple of hamburgers and a few beers, and then my wife and I got in the truck, and we had our kid with us, our eldest at the time. He was like 1, and the three of us, we drive out to my mom's house, and we drop him off. We're like, we need you to take him for the night because I got to go to the ER because this won't stop bleeding. And the whole drive up to the ER, my wife was like, if we get there and you're not like gushing blood, I'm going to be fucking pissed that I'm going to spend all night at the ER with your ass. So we get up there and we wait for an hour. We finally get a room. We get in there and it's bandaged. I mean, the gauze is like an inch thick, right? And the lady's unwrapping it. You see more and more blood. And then she gets to the last layer and she peels it off and just blood is pouring everywhere. And my wife looks at me, looks at the finger, goes, all right, I guess you weren't faking it. And I was like, oh shit, what's up, Chris Venus? So the lady numbs it up and then she starts to do the stitches and I'm like, ow. And she's like, well, you're not supposed to feel anything. I was like, well, I do. Just keep going. She's like, nope, I've already taken my gloves off. I got to re-glove anyway. We're gonna give you more shots of lidocaine. So they do the lidocaine. I'm like, so I ride a motorcycle. How long before I can put a glove on and like bend this finger? And she's like, that's it. I'm getting you a splint so you don't get tempted to. So she put a metal splint on it. She goes, 10 days. And on like day 9, I was like peeling that thing off. And I was like, yeah, I can bend it. It's not bleeding. Okay, cool. And she gave me an extra roll of gauze. She's like, I know you're going to be tempted. So wrap it up really good and shove it in the glove. So I did. And then I was out riding 3-handed on the throttle or 3-fingered on the throttle. Like I can't bend my finger, but I can throttle. So I've ridden less than 100% many, many times. Kind of like when I rode super hungover after drinking a liter of Crown Black one night and then getting 3 hours of passed out sleep. I tapped the tank of the Vaquero. I was like, I'll get you to 5. You get us over that, okay? So I get us up to 5 miles an hour and the bike takes care of the rest. And every stop I pounded a Gatorade and carbohydrates. I made it home and my wife's like, your son learned how to walk. And guess what? He wants daddy to take him around the block. And I was like, daddy wants to go pass out for a day. Oh. My first ever overnight on a motorcycle. So of course I walked him around the block. And then I passed out until the next day. It was hilarious. Oh yeah. You got to ride messed up once or twice, right? Not like actually drunk, just like messed up in other ways.
Yeah, physically messed up.
Yeah.
Not toxicology messed up.
No, that's just dangerous.
But yeah, I went down a road I've been down several times, but apparently not recently at that point in time.
Oh yeah.
Like, I got to one spot and, hey, bridge is closed. Fuck. And I went to do the U-turn, and having not been on the bike for a few months, it did not go so well. But the
No.
bike never hit the ground. The titanium held it up, but I fucking felt it.
The titanium. What, you're in your leg?
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it'd been in for 10 days.
Oh, that's not good.
See, October of 21, I broke my leg. That less than 24 hours later, they put a plate and 8 screws in it. I went back to work mid-January. In late April, it was still fucking hurting. I started going back to the doctor. They referred me to somebody else. In mid-May ish, I found out it was still broken. And early June, I had surgery to pull the plate and 8 screws out, do a bone culture, and then 8 days after that, I had a titanium rod put in it. And then Juneteenth, I was on the bike. June 19th.
Oh my goodness. I've never done anything that
After
bad.
the surgery to have the titanium rod put in, I asked the doctor, I'm like, so when can I get back on my motorcycle? He goes, you do realize you're asking a trauma doctor about riding a motorcycle.
And you're like, I'm not asking you to ride it.
When can I get back on my bike? He goes, I'd say tomorrow, but I prefer it if you wait till the stitches come out.
Nice.
All right, I'll wait for the stitches to come out.
Yeah. Like every time I get something done by the ENT, the ear, nose, and throat doc, and he's like, yeah, wait like 9 or 10 days before you smoke a cigar. And then I wave to him from outside when I leave, lighting up a cigar. And I come back in for a checkup, and he goes, wow, you're healing up faster than I thought. That's fucking crazy, Rick. Cracking the cast open. Yeah, I when I wrecked my Vaquero, I tagged every piece of that thing, and I slid on the ground wearing little to no protective gear for like 75 feet. And the next day I was on Percocet, so it was 2 more days after that, and I was out riding another bike. That was fun. Yeah, I have no idea what their next ride is. They should come to the East Coast.
Is it a ride or is it a event?
I have no idea.
But apparently they are ending in the Buffalo Chip again, I think, on their parade.
I have no idea. I can't even plan next week, much less months from now. Are you going to Gettysburg?
No.
Are you going to Hog Rock?
Yes.
Are you going to Sturgis?
Strong possibility, depending on vacation and money.
Oh, okay. Those are the only 3 I know
of. I am probably not doing mobbing in the mountains. I'd like to. See, I'm probably doing the Indiana Boogie, which is in July. Yeah, so let's see. Next weekend I'm home-ish, minus a day trip on the bike just around local. The weekend after that, I have a VFW state convention, so I'll be gone all weekend for that. Weekend after that is Hog Rock. The weekend after that is Mobbing in the Mountains, which I would like to go to, but it's too close to everything else. Then
I'm not going to any
third week in July, I will be at the Indiana Boogie. August, I hope to be in Sturgis.
So you're not doing VAM down in Virginia?
Nope.
Doc Harley keeps wanting me to go to Gettysburg.
I want to do mobbing just because I know it'll be a lot of riding and not the bullshit. Yeah, that's what I said, Evil Rick. It's Hog Rock, then mobbing. I just won't be able to do both, and I haven't missed a Hog Rock except for the one after I had my leg fixed, and I was still on crutches.
Zach, you're going to Gettysburg?
No, he just wants you to go without him.
Oh, okay. He wants me to go to Gettysburg. Well, he said come to Gettysburg, which indicates or sort of hints that he would be there. So I don't know. I mean, Gettysburg is
with him. He's kind of weird.
the way life's been going lately. Gettysburg is more likely than anything else in my schedule because I can just try to get up by like 9 a.m. and get up there by 10:30 or 11, spend most of the day, and head home before it gets dark. Oh, have you ridden the Road Glide at night yet?
Just to work, so it's only 3 miles, and most of it's through town, so I don't think that really counts.
Oh, I'm curious. I'm curious how the headlight does at night. It's LED. It should be pretty good.
Well, so was the last one, though.
Your last one was an LED?
Mm-hmm. Factory was LED.
In 21?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. See, I had a halogen on my
They
street.
went LED on the Road Glides in 15.
Really? The Street Glide didn't go there till like, what, 21, 22? Hey, what's up, XAN biker?
How's it going, Mike?
You should get XAN on here, and then we can curse at him and make him blush. I might have to go get a drink. Oh, it's been a long day. I got wind burnt like a son of a bitch in like an hour and a half. Oh, did you know that the new Skyline OS will read your text messages to you over the speakers while you ride?
I think I did know that, but I don't have anybody that really texts me enough to. Nobody likes me.
You would need friends. So anyway, my mom texted me. She was like, "Can you bring milk over for the boys or whatever when you come?" And I was out riding the bike, and it gives you like canned responses.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was, "I'm out riding my Harley Davidson." So I just said, "Yeah, send that one back." And she sent me back a response. Huh? So I just didn't respond. I waited until I saw her that night. I was like, "Mom, my bike sent you that text message." She's like, "Your bike can text?" And I was like, "Yeah, it has fingers. Didn't you know?" She was like, "Really?" And I'm like, "No, Mom, it's just canned responses." My mom, yeah, right. my mom texts. My wife just calls, but I ignore her calls. I ignored her call today. I was standing there talking to the tech at the dealer, and I was like, "That's my wife." And he's like, "You should take that." I was like, "Nah, I'll call her back." I swiped left on my wife, and I waited about 10 minutes, and I was done talking to him. He went back to work, and I called her. I was like, "Yeah, I was talking to the tech." She goes, "Oh, okay, that's cool, no problem."
I just ignored my wife's call and waited till I stopped rolling, and
Well, on the street glide,
then I debated whether I wanted to actually call her back or not.
so on my street glide, I had the phone connected to the bike, but it obviously couldn't take the calls because I didn't have a WIM. And I don't know what the new bike's going to do, but it's paired for calls apparently. And nobody's called me since I bought it, so that's great. But whenever she called, it would start ringing. I had just enough time to reach up, turn on my comms unit, and as soon as the comms unit paired with the phone, it would pick up the phone call, and it would be good. So she knew if I was on the bike, just wait, he'll pick up, and I'd talk to her and be like, "I don't really want to talk now," and I had to hang up on her. But on the new bike, I have no idea. So there I am. I'm talking to the service manager. I tell him what happened. He goes, "You should really take your wife's calls." I was like, no. Look, let me take you back to like 2012 when the neighbor lady walked by and she had a dog, and my dog was barking at her dog. So I got the two dogs to play together. They got along well, and the neighbor lady's attractive. So I said, "Hey, let me get your number because my wife's new in the area. She could use some friends, and you live just down the street with your husband." So I waited till my wife got home, and I went, "I got a girl's number. I got a girl's number." And she takes my phone. She gets the number. She starts texting her. "Heard you've been talking to my husband." Then she notices the area code. They grew up in the same area code, like 3 states away. It was hilarious. So they're best friends now. So every time this lady gets a divorce or breaks up with her boyfriend, I go, now's your chance to have a sister wife and join my harem. And I say this right in front of my wife. And it's freaking hilarious, right? So my wife's kind of used to this. So she signs me up to do this water walking class because I'm older than DDK at this point, and I got to keep my joints mobile during the winter, or they get all stiff and painful, right? So I'm in this water walking class, and there's this lady that's, I don't know, 40, 45, whatever. She seems friendly enough. And so we end up walking in this class all the time. Every Thursday we walk together, chit chat, how are the wife and kids and all that stuff. So I went and got her number too, and she's probably going to come by the house tomorrow and hang out for the barbecue. So when I got her number, I told my wife the same thing. I got a girl's number, and she's like, "All right." So like a week goes by, and she goes, "Did you text that girl yet? What's she doing this weekend?" And I'm like, "What do you want to get rid of me?" And she's like,
Hey,
"Kinda,
hey,
yeah.
Jack,
You're a drain on my economy."
Tell Meg we said hi.
Hi, Megan. Yes, XAN, exactly. And it's like the time when you want to focus on something else that your significant other wants to be like, "Let's have this world-altering conversation and plan our future together." I hope my wife went to bed because otherwise she heard that, and it's going to be a long night of me getting elbowed in the ribs.
I mean, it's damn near midnight there. What time does your wife usually fall asleep?
I don't know. The kids aren't home, so anytime between 11 and 1. But I thought I heard her walking upstairs, so maybe I'm okay. I don't think she really cares at this point.
Maybe you should have followed her up the stairs. I mean,
Why?
so you can practice making a third kid.
Oh, fuck that. I don't even want to risk it. Are you kidding me? I can't even afford the 2 she has. I mean, that are mine too, but she tells everybody I don't have kids. Well, she tells everybody her husband doesn't have kids, but she does. And I'm like, yeah, kind of. She just lifts her hand. Oh, that's the I want to speak now.
Okay, then Zach, give her one of these for me.
No.
I mean, they're at the races right now, so
Nice.
sign language is the best language.
Absolutely. Need me to turn it up? Put it in stereo? That's just mean. You should be nicer to your wife.
That shit's overrated. She's not nice to me.
They never are. You say I do. She said I did.
Holy hell.
I think somebody's either shooting off fireworks or a pew pew. In my background, not yours.
I was going to say, I could have just been my back popping, but
No. Nope. Oh, dude. I was talking to my boss one day. We were out having a smoke, and I moved my left elbow, and it cracked. He was like 6 feet away, and he's like, "Was that your elbow?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Huh, interesting. Yeah, that's not good, John." And I was like, "I know." And then I turned, and like 3 more joints popped, and he's like, "That's even worse." I was like, "Yeah, tell me about it." I sit around
and that's when you go, those are the ones that don't hurt.
I was like, "Now it feels much better. Are you kidding me? I'm ready to do a marathon." So what's next for the Road Glide? What other mods you got planned for it?
I'm thinking about having it pinstriped.
You gonna have Letterfly do it?
No. I want
Are
to
you gonna?
have somebody do it. I don't even know who yet.
You should do it yourself.
No.
Come on, all it takes is a steady hand. You get
Yeah,
yourself a little brush and you got to put your middle finger out first and use that to draw it along, right? Like that.
Oh, I understand what it takes. I'm not doing it.
I drink too much coffee. I can't get a steady enough hand. My pinstriping would look like an EKG.
But I think about having some red pinstriping done.
There you go. Make sure you get the filigrees on it, right? Oh, there you go. Zach wants to do it, but you got to ride to him.
I mean, I do need to get out there. But he's also supposed to come back to Hog Rock at some point, but probably not going to happen. He's probably going to bitch out about it.
Probably. Where is Zach out of? I have no idea.
PA.
Oh, yeah. You got to
Your
ride out
neighbor.
there. You should ride out for Gettysburg. You can get your bike pinstriped by Zach over in the side chat, and I can film it. We can all play to our strengths.
I don't think Zach's strength is pinstriping, though.
Yeah, but he said he'll do it. So, I mean, shit. The video will end up on my channel. Who cares? I got fucking leaf blower and string trimmer reviews out there. What's a little pinstriping?
I noticed the leaf blower ego, whatever the fuck number that was.
Yeah. Hey, look. All I need to do is convince one person to buy the same tool that I bought, and the affiliate link pays for my time making the video. It's a purely selfish endeavor. Now, I will be honest, though. In the case of the string trimmer, it lined up with when I had bought the Pocket 3, so I wanted to compare the Canon to the Pocket 3 as far as shooting B-roll. So that was the impetus behind recording that video. And then I feel pot committed. Once I've recorded something, well, I've got to edit it and publish it.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Look, Howard decided to keep his Heritage. What a nice bike. The Heritage, by the way, is the first Harley that I looked at that I wanted to buy.
Not for me. Still want a night train.
You want a Sportster 883, don't lie.
No, I want a night train. I want to be more specific, I want a 99 night train.
You want a Street 500.
I'd rather piss on an electric fence.
Yeah. My wife almost bought a Street 750. She wanted one. She test rode the 500 because that's all they had on the lot. And we came back to the dealership. I was on a Street Glide special, and she was on the Street 500. We came back and she tells the sales lady, cool, he wants that green Street Glide. I want a Street 750. And all the sales lady wanted to talk about was the Street Glide because she would have to work and actually find a Street 750. So after like 20 minutes of listening to this, my wife stood up and goes, honey, get on your bike. We're riding home. No. She's like, you don't want to. She looked at the sales lady and went, you don't want to find me the bike? You just lost 2 sales. Bye. And we rode home and she goes, find something cheaper, John. That's a lot of money. And that sales lady pissed me off. So that's how I ended up with a Vaquero.
Oh,
dude, the Vaquero it's an awesome bike. It handles well. It has enough power. It looks good. It just has 0 aftermarket support.
wait, that's the fixed fairing, ain't it?
Yeah, it's a road glide, but
No. It's a fixed fairing, like a road glide, but it's not a road glide.
Right. It's like a road glide, but the fairing is shaped like a street glide. So, in my opinion, it looks better because that bulbous front end on a road glide is just fucking ugly. And I don't know how anybody can buy a road glide. Jack's right. Road Kings rule. I'm getting kicked off this live, aren't I?
No.
I own a road glide now, but I think the new generation looks better than the previous one. Yep, they're definitely shooting off fireworks. So Howard bought a custom shift linkage. Nice. Yeah, I looked at the Heritage, and then I found out they made one with color-matched hard bags called a Road King. And I was like, now we're talking. And then I found out they made one with a fairing, and it had a radio in it and cruise control. And I was like, that's a street glide. That's what I really want. And yeah, so it was a very quick escalation from one thing to another, and I ended up buying a street glide.
Let's see. I started off on a Softail Slim 2012 for my first Harley. I can't remember if I had that 13 months or 11 months, but I traded it off on a street glide. I had that 11 months or 13 months, whatever the opposite of the Slim was, traded off my first road glide, and I haven't been back since.
That happens a lot. There was, when I posted a picture of my road glide on the road glide group, somebody was like, yeah, I see a lot of street glide owners buying road glides, but I don't see a lot of road glide owners ever buying a street glide again.
Nope.
Yeah, it's funny how that works. I love it.
Somebody lays down the miles. I mean, that street glide's a piece of shit compared to the road glide.
I don't know. Monkey likes the new one, and I've got a few friends that bought the new street glide. I don't like the bars being up so high as far as wind pro for the hands. I'm thinking about buying hand guards come fall.
I've got a set of hand guards still. They won't fit on my bike. They didn't fit on the last bike.
Damn it. What changed? I mean, everything.
Well, they didn't fit on the last bike either. And it's the hydraulic clutch.
Oh.
You didn't have that on the 21s.
Oh. Huh. Well, I looked at them and I saw Advanblack has them, but they're like $200 for color matched. I'm like, I don't need them that bad until the fall comes.
The good thing about the Advanblack ones is you can remove little rubber plugs.
Yeah, you get more airflow.
You can get the airflow during the summertime without actually taking off the hand guards.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that because once I put something on the bike, it ain't coming off. It was like 65 degrees or 60 degrees this morning. I was out riding along and I had my heated grips on 2 out of 3. Wearing my summer gloves, but I had the heated grips on. I was like, I'm not doing this. This is cold, man.
I'd turn
Oh
the heated
yeah.
grips off, and I'd pull my hands back and kind of lean back on the bike a little bit, and forget that I just turned on the heated grips. So,
Oh, dude, I forget they're on, and I park the bike behind my trailer, and I get off, and I go and open the ramp door to put the bike in, and I go back on, and I've taken my gloves off, and I put them on those heated grips. I'm like, oh shit, that's hot. I got to remember, like, when I'm 5 minutes or 10 minutes away from home, turn off the heated grips. By the time I get home, they'll be the right temperature. Yeah, good times.
all right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed.
All right. It's nice catching up with you, Busted.
Good talking to you, bud.
That's what I aim for. It's always a pleasure to have me around.
It can be a chore too.
It's definitely a chore. Anybody within 10 feet of me, it's a chore.
Just ask your wife. I'm sure she'd agree.
Why do you think she doesn't watch my fucking videos?
I thought maybe she got tired of you shit talking her all the time. So,
Dude, I give her shout outs every once in a while and nothing but positivity. She's the light of my life. It is a Roman candle.
all right. Good night, everybody.
I am not a crook.